All right, this is the Fantasy Sports Boss with another video for you. If you're new, hit the subscribe, hit the like button, also hit the notification button so you're made aware when new videos like this one are added. So today, with the fantasy football season in the books, I wanted to take a look at some of the running backs who are at or near the danger zone in terms of age, where, you know, productivity tends to decline. And for a running back, that number is getting earlier and earlier now with sizable workloads with guys coming right out of college, and even in college, a la Jonathan Taylor, guys who've had a high workload in college have a shorter span in the NFL where they're putting up high-end numbers. So typically 28 was considered the age where you really should shy away from investing in a running back in fantasy football. But that number is now up to probably 27, maybe even in some instances in 26, in Taylor's case as well, somebody who had a very high workload going back to college. But for the argument's sake, we're going to go with the age of 27 and up as the danger zone for fantasy football running backs. And myself personally, I violated this mantra this season when I invested in Leonard Fournette, and needless to say, it did not work out. And there's also people who invested in Alvin Kamara, same situation. There's a lot of regret. And in hindsight now, we should have realized, okay, guys who are 27 and older at running back stand a good chance of disappointing and not yielding the ADP value that they invested in. So looking at some of the guys, the main guys, let's start off with Austin Ekeler. So Austin Ekeler already is 27 years old. He will be 28 in May. So at the start of the 2023 fantasy football season, Austin Ekeler, who has had an insane workload the last couple of seasons, has managed to stay healthy. A smaller back who had injury problems earlier in his career has remained remarkably healthy. And you could make a case over the last two seasons, he has been the very best back in fantasy football when you combine those two campaigns. His insane receiving production to go along with his unbelievable touchdown production. And remember, prior to last season, talking about 2021, the hit on Ekeler was that, you know what, he's not going to score a lot of touchdowns. Melvin Gordon was always there to cipher off the scores around the goal line. And the feeling was that Ekeler, given his smaller size, was not going to be getting those goal line carries. But that has not been the case under Brandon Staley. We got to see if Staley's even coming back to coach the team next year. But Ekeler has proven himself to be a capable runner on the ground and near the goal line to collect touchdowns. But he will be 28 years old. That is the clear danger zone spot for running back. But a couple of things with Ekeler. One, his workloads weren't too crazy his first few years in the league. As I said, Melvin Gordon was there to take about 60 to 70% of the carries. You know, Ekeler really didn't start ramping up until the last couple of seasons, at least, with regards to the workload. And if you look at the numbers, 2020, he was 4.6 a carry. 2021, that dipped to 4.4. But this past season, 4.5. So there has been zero decline so far with Austin Ekeler. However, as the saying goes, you want to be out a year early in terms instead of a year too late. So 28 years old, two very heavy workloads. It's probably going to take a top 2 pick to get Ekeler or top 3 pick with McCaffrey and Justin Jefferson being there for 2023. How lucky do you feel off two really almost unsustainable seasons for Ekeler going forward? That's the problem when it comes to him for 2023. Do you want to spend the number 3 overall pick on a guy who's 28, big workloads the previous 2 years, and really has, I believe, an unsustainable touchdown rate? All right, Christian McCaffrey now. So McCaffrey right now, 26. He's going to be 27 in early June. So he will be 27 when the season starts. So he is in the danger zone. But this is a guy we know prior to this past season, 2022, he only played 2 games from 2020 and 2021. So 10 total games because he missed so much time with injury. All that missed time, though, might extend the leash on McCaffrey, I think, through next season. I think he's relatively safe aside from the injury risk, because he's always a sizable injury risk. And his numbers, too, like Ekeler, 4.5 a carry in 2020, 4.7 in 2021, 4.6 this last season. So no drop-off from McCaffrey. And again, I think all that missed time, 10 games from 2020 to 21 total that he played in, I think that could help McCaffrey go maybe another year before the decline sets in. All right, now the troublesome guys. Derrick Henry, 29, January 4th. So he's going to go into the 2023 season at 29 years of age. This is a clear case of decline. All right, so from 2018 to 20, 4.9 per carry, 5.5 per carry, 5.4 per carry. Unbelievable production for Henry. The last 2 seasons, 4.3 and 4.4. That is a whole yard plus less than what Henry was doing during his heyday. So again, 29 years old, not a big receiver, never really has been. So in PPR, he hurts you. Has started to deal with injuries the last 2 years. Struggling down the stretch of the season because of the heavy workload and the legs probably being tired. So Derrick Henry is a complete avoid fade for me in 2023. And if you decide to buck all these historical trends, investing in guys this of Henry's age, then shame on you. You're just not paying attention. All right, Aaron Jones. So Aaron Jones is older than you think. So he turned 28 on December 2nd. So he will be 28 going into the new season. But a couple of things on Jones. He averaged 5.3 per carry this past season. And also, he never really has gotten a full allotment of carries throughout his entire career. He's always had to share time. He's been sharing time with A.J. Dillon the last couple of seasons, almost right down the middle. So I think that, too, can help Jones maybe extend at least for one more season through his age 28 campaign before then he becomes a firm fade for me going forward. But Jones always misses time with injury, always gets nicked up. You have to really be careful with him because I think Jones could go either way next season. He has risk getting up there in age, guy who's always been nicked up. I know he played through it this past season, but he's always generally missed at least a couple of games a season. That threat will grow as he gets older. All right, Dalvin Cook. 27, just finished his age 27 season. He will be 28 in August of 2023. So he will be 28 when the new season gets underway. And he, too, is in the decline phase of his career. So back in 2020, he averaged 5 per carry. 2021, that sank to 4.7. 2022, 4.4, a career low for Dalvin Cook. The explosive plays just weren't there. He's not contributing as much in the receiving game as well. This is another guy who's always annually nicked up. So 4.4, a career low in receiving yards. He's going to be 28 for the new season. Major fade. Dalvin Cook, I want no part of him next season. Joe Mixon, 26 this season. In July, he will be 27. He's never been flashy. 2020, 3.6 a carry. 2021, 4.1. This past season, 3.9. You throw out that one ridiculous 50-plus fantasy football game he had, point-wise, he was very ordinary. Actually, he was below ordinary. Like, he really wasn't that good. And, he's gotten a heavy workload throughout his career from the jump. 27 years old. The danger zone is here. This is a clear case of getting out a year early before it's too late. Mixon, big fade for me. Want no part of him next season. Leonard Fournette, I'll take the hit on this one. I invested in his age 27 season. Now, Tampa Bay's line was really beat up. There's no doubt about it. The offensive line was in shambles. But Rachaad White actually looked pretty good at times, and he had the fresher legs. Fournette, only 3.5 per carry, down from 4.5 the previous year. Going to be 28 at the end of January. So Fournette's going to go into his age 28 season. He was plotting all along last season. Anybody who owned him just could see he had no burst, no acceleration, no big playability at all. Rachaad White is not going away. He's going to get more and more work. Leonard Fournette, major fade. Finally, Alvin Kamara. He's got trouble with the law, likely suspension coming. 27 this past season, 28 in July. 5 yards per carry in 2020, down to 3.7 in 2021, only 4 in 2022. His routes run, career low this past season. Even though he did catch a decent amount of passes, the average per carry is really sinking fast. He's got trouble with the league next season, likely suspension coming. The quarterback situation is a mess. Alvin Kamara, major fade. All right, if you like this video, hit the subscribe, hit that notification button, share it out. More videos on the way.